Hey guys, it's Julie and I'm here with Miss Cassie, Shar-Pei Mix. Gosh, I hope you can hear me over all the bugs. It's really loud. We're on an evening walk because it's been so hot during the day that I said, you know what, I'm waiting until the evening to take some of these dogs out. Cassie just might be one of the sweetest dogs that has ever come through this program. Megan, you are so lucky with the dogs you're getting from these shelters because she is definitely a keeper. She is so sweet and she's so soft and she just always wants to do the right thing. You can see her requiring little to no effort for me to walk her right now. She is such a sweetheart. So as I'm walking her in heel, I almost forget she's there. And I tell everybody, when you're walking your dog in heel, you almost should forget they're there. It should feel like they're a feather at the other end of the leash. They should not be pulling you. They shouldn't be zigzagging. They shouldn't be marking. You should not feel them at the other end of that leash. You almost always have to look down and say, oh, that's right, I'm walking a dog. How do we get that? How do we get the dog who, there's really cute bulldogs over there, and our girl's ignoring them. How do we get a dog who we sort of forget is even there? We can't feel them. They're not constantly pushing. It all comes down to believability. How believable are you? How much does your dog think you're actually going to hold them accountable for that command? And it really is not that difficult. If you get your dog and you head out the door and they rush out the threshold and they drag you to the first tree they see and you're just kind of, I'll let it slide for today. They're probably going to be pulling you the whole walk, okay? They're probably going to be pulling you to every tree or pole. But if you say, you know what, let me do this right. You're going to wait to come out of the crate and you're going to be in a sit stay while you get all your equipment on. You're going to wait at the threshold before we head out. And I'm going to give you some reminders to stay in heel, okay? You're probably going to have a really successful and nice and enjoyable walk. So let's discuss a few things that I like to do to make sure that our dogs are paying attention to us when we're walking. Okay, so here's a couple things that you can do. The first one is start walking really fast, like power walking, right? Walk really, really, really fast and then abruptly slow down. Did your dog slow down with you or did they fly ahead because they weren't expecting you to slow down so fast? If your dog stopped with you, great job. They're with you. If they flew ahead, you've got some work to do, okay? They're not really paying attention to you. And if they're not paying attention to you, they're paying attention to everything around and you're more likely to have a dog who's gonna bark at another dog or drag you somewhere, lunge at a human. Another thing that I like to do is the 180, just unexpected 180 turn like that. If your dog isn't right there with you, turning with you, got some work to do, okay? So just an unexpected 180 like that, good girl, she's right there with me. She's really watching for my next move. Another thing to do is the unexpected stop and sit. Sit, good girl. Just stop and have your dog sit. So if your dog is not quite with you on the walk, here's some things that you can do, all right? The first thing I like to tell people is to do a heel tap. If your dog is constantly pushing you, constantly trying to get ahead, I will lift up my left leg and my heel, see, I'm not gonna do it to her because she doesn't need it right now. My heel will tap their chest, right? And it's because they're too far ahead. If I'm able to lift my leg up like this and it not bump into them, they're doing great, okay? That means they're in follow mode. So a heel tap is a great way to keep your dog a little bit behind you, kind of keep them in check and keep them with you. Another thing you can do is e-collar. Pressure on when they're out of position, pressure off when you guide them back. Your leash should always be attached to your prong collar. That is your steering wheel. Your leash has to attach to something on your walk, so you might as well make it something that gives you the most control. So you can say, no, tap with the e-collar, guide with the prong, okay? And whatever numbers you're using, make sure they're relevant to your dog. You're going too low, you're doing this every 2 seconds, they don't care. So make sure your numbers are high enough to be valuable to your dog, okay? So tap with the e-collar, guide with the prong. Release all the pressure when they are in the position that you want them in, okay? This little girl, she's making me really proud. She's awesome.